So what's up with this asking thing? Why is it so important? Well, asking is clearly an important life skill, isn't it? It's, whether you're asking for a raise at work, or you're asking for asking someone to marry you if you're a male or a female for that matter. Clearly that's can go either way. But life consists of asking for things. And it's evident that people have different levels of skill when it comes to asking. Now, in my understanding, it seems the tied for first with all spiritual principles, perhaps the most powerful one of all, is ask and you shall receive. Seek and you'll find, inquire, and it will be given to you. I think people don't appropriately understand the power behind that spiritual principle. It sounds like a platitude, or yeah, it sounds good, but I've asked for a lot of stuff and have never gotten it, like a greedy child asks in a Christmas list. But that's a misunderstanding. And so it's foolish to throw away that principle thinking that it's just a sententious platitude. It's anything but. It's the most powerful dynamic that we have. And so as I was pondering that for my little 6-minute talk, I thought, well, why don't you just write down real quickly why it's important to ask? So normally I would just speak this out loud off the top of my head extemporaneously. I would just ask the universe. But today the universe said, well, write it down, dude. So these are the reasons why it's important to ask. You ready? I'm going to list them. You ask because you realize you don't know. You have sifted and sorted through the experiences of life. You've been engaged in life enough to have a question to ask. People that don't ask questions haven't done a lot of sifting and sorting. They haven't been very adventuresome. You've exercised your ability to ask. Asking is a muscle that we need to utilize. If we quit asking, then it becomes difficult to ask for what we want. We feel embarrassed or ashamed or awkward just for asking for a drink of water, another serving of something. What else? As we exercise our asking, we get better at asking more efficient, more precise questions. If you haven't asked for a long time, you get really bad at it. You ask silly questions, but that's okay, because you know what they say. There aren't stupid questions, just stupid people that ask questions. Just kidding. Let's see, what are other good things about asking? You're tired and worn out from not knowing the answer. Life has beaten you up and you've gone long enough without the answer to a dilemma that clearly has an answer, but we're either too lazy or stubborn to ask. You're willing to let go of what you think you know so that you can learn what you should know or ought to know. Ooh, that's a good one. You are ready to grow, evolve, and expand. When you ask, you're ready to expand. If you don't ask, you don't want to expand, you're stagnant. Now, that's none of us, but you know people like that who are pretty happy and pretty sought in their ways where they're at. What else? The more you seek, the more efficient you get at it, the more quickly the answer comes. The more questions you ask, the more you seek, the more answers and solutions you have, so that you become a repository and a reservoir of insight, knowledge, and understanding for the people around you. This makes you a very valuable presence in the world and increases your status in the hierarchy. You move up the totem pole. Yeah, baby. See what happens when you ask? What else happens? We see the universe loves giving us answers in the most serendipitous ways. People, places, things, circumstances, the glint of light off of a tree becomes the answer to a question, the way the wind blows. The answers, my friends, are blowing in the wind. What else? We build a great sense of faith when we ask. The answer is always given, that it's on the way. Our job is to intelligently seek and become consciously receptive to the answer. We don't formulate the answer, we become receptive to the answer. Life becomes a great deal more fun and a great deal less aggravating when you have the answers and solutions immediately to problems rather than wallowing in the dilemma. Gosh darn it, I sure wish I knew how to fix my printer. Damn it. and you go a month and then you ask somebody and they say, dude, it's unplugged. And then it'd be nice to just have that answer immediately, wouldn't it? Wouldn't life be more fun? Wouldn't it be less aggravating? Wouldn't we wear ourselves out less? Couple more. Asking implies that you're worthy of the answer. A lot of people have this sense of undeserving, or that it's inappropriate to ask, or they're being greedy or guilty, or it's shameful to ask. You should already know the answer. What a horrible mindset that we should know the answer to everything. Golly, how absurdly ridiculous. And finally, asking implies curiosity and stimulates imagination. Two of our very greatest faculties, curiosity and imagination, that will go stagnant and die if we're not continuously filled with questions, with seeking. And finally, if you ask, then there's the implied responsibility of seeking. You go out and you look around. You might not be good at seeking. You might fumble around. You might go in exactly the opposite direction, but going in the opposite direction will sooner or later expose you that, hey, this is the wrong direction, wrong teacher, wrong idea, wrong solution. And then you'll bounce off of that and you'll move in the direction where the answer is. So I thought I'd flesh out some good reasons why it's good to ask. So if you find yourself going through this day and you feel even the slightest hesitancy to ask, like, I sure wish this person would give me another piece of bread, or I sure wish my mate would give me a neck rub, or I sure, or, ask the question, get good at asking, get free and easy with it, get liberated like a little child with great curiosity. And there's a parent who's happy to answer the question. See you tomorrow, and we'll ask some more questions.